Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make melodic guitar beats inside of FL Studio, and yeah, that's about it. I have this loop here, and before you get mad that I'm not making it from scratch, don't worry, I have a different style of tutorials that I think you might like. I really get in depth about how I explain stuff, but yeah, follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at gavinhadley_. Email me loops to gavinhadleybeats@gmail.com. And yeah, this is also a loop for my upcoming loop kit, which is going to be posted tomorrow night, I think. And if you're watching this like on the day it comes out, which is March 26th, that's going to be tomorrow, which is the 27th. So yeah, not too much to say other than that. I'll play a preview to the loop right now, and then we'll get into how I made it. It's pretty cool. So yeah. Alright, so I started by grabbing a guitar from Contact. I want to look and see what this guitar VST is called. It's the Evolution Modern Nylon. I saw it in a Kyle Stenberger video, and I thought that I had to get it because I really like the way it sounds. It sounds super realistic for a fake guitar, I guess. And obviously, I'd always recommend a real guitar, but if you can't play it like me, then yeah, you got to use something else. So this is what I'm using, and this is what the MIDI looks like. Looks really complex, but I will show you that it's actually really simple. So we're going to start by breaking down the chords, which are these notes right here, which are arpeggiated a little bit to give it more of like a Spanish guitar kind of feel. And yeah, as you can see, we go up and down the scale, and then the chords are actually the same for the first 4 bars and then the second 4 bars, making it an 8-bar loop. So yeah, I have a piece of paper that has a couple of explanations for some of the chords in case you know some music theory and want to see exactly what I was doing. But basically, to break down the chords, this first chord is just an A minor chord, and yeah, just really simple. That's how I started the whole progression. And then keep in mind, when I was doing this, none of the chords were arpeggiated, so 2 A minor chords, and then it goes down to a C major chord, except I I changed the voicing. So this G was originally up here at G5, then I just put it down an octave, so it was like that. And then that also kind of helps us like blend downwards here, as you can see, like these 2 bottom notes are going down the scale. And then here I have an F major 7 chord without the 5th, which makes it a shelf voicing, and that is a chord that a lot of producers use in the community. I know a lot of Internet Money members do stuff that sounds kind of like that, and yeah, that's that chord. And then same thing here, and then actually not the same thing, yeah, the same thing there basically. And then here we have, this is where I had to start writing down stuff because I wasn't really too sure. So in this chord, the C is the root note. There's a bunch of inversions going on here, as you can see. C is the root note, but then how do I even say this? Yeah, this just proves that I know nothing about music theory. Alright, so okay, never mind. It's pretty simple. This is just the 5th. And yeah, so it's just the root note here and then the 5th. So yeah, that's that. I think I said that right, hopefully. And then here we have an interesting chord that really makes this, it doesn't really feel like it has too much of a place, and like when you're just looking at this, but it really does a good job resolving back up to our first note. So this is the leading tone. I'm not going to explain it. If you don't know what a leading tone is, watch my other videos because I explain that a lot. And also, if you're looking for more guitar tutorials, my last 3 I've posted, now 4 after this one will be guitar tutorials, so yeah, check those out if you haven't already. But this is a E augmented chord, which is a crunchy chord, and it has a G sharp in the bass. So yeah, the G sharp is our leading tone, and we have a C and an E. So that's what that looks like. And now I'm going to break down the top melody, which is pretty simple, honestly. Originally when I played these, all of these were on the grids. Like this was here, this was here, this was probably like right there, but I'm gonna press Alt or Control Alt Z to undo those, but I strummed them, so it gave it a really cool effect. And then there's no music theory, just going up and down the scale, trying to create like an interesting pattern. And then I go down to a D, down to a C, and then I kind of fool the listener by going back up. And this note does a really good job at like synergizing with this chord and giving it a cool feel. So yeah, then I go down here to this note, and I like utilizing these 2 notes in the minor scale, the notes that like are in the scale that are right next to each other. I like using those as I go down. I'll play that first part now. And I really liked how this chord or this note sounded in this beat, but I wanted to switch it up here from the first to the second part, so I just went up to an A because I thought that sounded good in my ear. And then here, where the claps would be for the most part, yeah, that's where the claps would be in most beats. I have this A here, and it's slightly off the grid, as you can see. Just when I strummed it, that's what happened. Slightly off the grid, and it gives like a sense of repetition, but you don't really notice it. It's just there, doing its thing and contributing to the melody in a good way. And it's, you can see, I gotta stop saying as you can see, I say it all the time, but as you can see, really simple pattern. I basically just duplicated this part, except instead of having these two notes, I still have the first one here, but then I go down to a C and up to a D. No music theory again, just what sounds good to my ear. And yeah, that's about it for the melody. I'll play it right now with no effects, and I'll show you what I put on it after that. And I also use these because I thought it did a really good job leading back up to this E. Like, as you can see, if I play these, like your ear's already expecting, and it knows, or my ear's already expecting this note to be played, so I just led back up by doing that. So that's the explanation, and it also sounds good here. Actually, it doesn't, or it doesn't. It does sound good, but I don't really have an explanation why this blends so well. Sorry if you're looking for one, but that's that, and I'll show you what I put on it for bass effects. I have this cassette plugin from Waves Factory. I really like it. I think it does a good job. It's just the default plugin. Adds a little bit of like vinyl tape feel to it, and then I have this ozone, and I'm pretty sure it's one of those guitar presets, and it makes the guitar sound a lot wider and more clean. So yeah, that's what it sounds like with effects now. So like the cassette kind of drowns out the high end a little tiny bit, making it sound like more old and like of a lesser quality, and then the ozone does a good job kind of bringing that high end back, but it makes it sound cool. And overall, that probably made no sense, but yeah. So now we're gonna move on to our flute that we added, but I added a bunch of different effects to the flute, as you heard in the loop that I showed. But I'm gonna play the flute right now with nothing. It's only two things, but it made the flute sound completely different. So not too much music theory to this, just trying to create an interesting pattern, utilizing a lot of different notes that goes up and down the scale. That kind of resembles some sort of a wave, as I say in all my melodies. As you can see, I kind of just do that all the time. And this is what it sounds like. It's just the same thing, repeated over and over. After for the first four bars, it's the same as the second four bars. And I just pressed Alt-R to randomize the velocities, so everything is being played at a different volume. And yeah, just going up the scale, back down, lower, up, same here, like lower all the way down, and then just repeating, creating like a wavy kind of pattern. And then I thought the flute stood out too much when I was playing it with the guitar, so I put this cassette on it, which gave it like a really vintage, like washed out feel, and then I added this phaser, and it made it sound like this. So it barely even sounds like a flute, but it's like really unique, and that's what I'm trying to do in my loops a lot lately. I've been really trying to just create unique sounding stuff that's different, but it sounds good, and like you probably wouldn't even guess that's what the flute sounds like because of how it blends with all the other stuff. So yeah, that's that. Really simple melody overall, and now I have this, why is that doing that? I could not tell you what the, oh, it's because I'm, okay. So now I have this sound. I don't even remember what this sounds like, to be honest. Oh yeah, it's this synth from, did I grab it? Yeah, it's from Omnisphere. I shouldn't have opened up Omnisphere, now it's going to take forever. Just a synth from Omnisphere, and I'm using the root notes, just copy and pasted the root notes, and just pasted them in there. And I just added some reverb to it. This is what it sounds like without reverb. Kind of trying to drown out that that high end a little bit, like the distortion, but also not at the same time, just making it sound smoother. And that's about that. I kind of tucked it, as you can see, it has a really low volume. And yeah, so then I laid out all of them, as you can see right here. And then I had this guitar, or this arcade preset. It's like a little hit. This is what it sounds like. Thought it really sounded cool. That's why I used it. I just put reverb on it to like drown it out. This is what it sounds like without. Yeah, so I just have it tucked in the background. It hits right at the beginning of each 8 bars. So I have this going. I rendered them out to a WAV file so I can chop them up, so you are able to like chop this part up without having the reverb from this part of the sample get in the way of it. And then I just had each individual sound spaced out here. And then I have this arcade. This is the last thing I added. This are another arcade. It's a vocal, except it sounds really interesting because I added a bunch of different stuff to it. So I played out the vocal and then I reversed it. And added like an EQ to take out some of the high end, and then I like blended it in here a little bit as well. And it's reversed. It's tucked in the background. That's what that sounds like. Have all of them here. I exported it out to a WAV file right here. I pitched it down a semitone, which moved the scale down to G sharp minor. And then I'll play what I have here. I just added a little bit of EQ and I raised the high end a little bit to make it sound more crispy and more just like sampled. It adds like a little bit more static into the sample, but yeah, that's pretty much it. This is what everything sounds like together. And I really like how I was able to blend everything in and make it sound a lot different than all of the sounds compiled up. Because as you were watching, like that flute, it sounds kind of weird, but like once it gets blended in with everything else, it just feels like it's part of the sample and it should be there. So yeah, this is what the final sample sounds like again. And yeah, that's basically the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, let's try to get this video to like 20 likes this time. Let's go up. I'm gonna do up like 5 likes per video because we're getting a lot of support, and I'd like to thank you guys for that. My last 2 videos are doing phenomenal. Hopefully we can get this one right back up there, having it compete with the other 2. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Keep making beats, guys. During this time, it's really important that you make beats, and you have a lot of time to do it right now. Take advantage of it. And that's about it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Comment what you want to see next. And yeah, I got nothing more. See you later.